Hello and welcome to another episode of the Debug Life. Today we're going to be talking about journaling and what I've learned in over 2.5 years of consecutive journaling. Journaling is obviously the habit of keeping a record of your thoughts, feelings, insights, and struggles and wins in your life. Now, whether you decide to write by hand or paper, type on the computer, or use some app on your phone, journaling is really a fantastic and low cost option to maintain and improve your mental health and get to know yourself better. The idea of starting a journal and thereby setting the expectation of having to write may seem a little bit overwhelming at first. It definitely did to me. But the idea isn't to write an entire chapter every day, and it doesn't have to be some beautiful story. It doesn't have to be published. It's not going to make a New York Times bestseller list. The idea is simply to do a brain dump and transfer whatever is taking up space in here to paper in order to create more room in your head. And some days that may be a few paragraphs, and other days that may only be one sentence. I have those days where I wake up and that's all I have to write, and that is all I write for that day. Now, journaling can help you reduce stress, manage your anxiety and depression, and gain insight into the things you want more or less of. Writing out your thoughts enables you to tackle your problems and fears in a more systemic way by helping you recognize your triggers and how to regulate them. Journaling also lets you track your symptoms and progress, which can be reviewed at a later point in time, allowing you to make small but meaningful changes to your life. For me, for example, I've used this to discover why I wake up with feeling so much pressure and so much anxiety. And I really use journaling to dig into that. And now I've made some changes such as reading joke books when I wake up, or reading funny stories, or just reading things I'm interested in. And that really changes the whole outlook I have on my day. And that's something I discovered through journaling. Now, again, the purpose of journaling isn't to create a polished story or an autobiography. It's, by putting whatever is taking up space in your head on paper, you create room in your head to think more clearly. Once your thoughts are written down, it makes it easier to reflect on them because unlike your thoughts, whatever you wrote down isn't constantly changing. Reflection on your journal entries increases your understanding of the patterns, behaviors, and thought processes that you go through on a daily basis. Additionally, the act of journaling helps you explore your emotions, values, beliefs, and experiences in order to get to know yourself better. We live in a world of constant distraction, a world telling us what we should and shouldn't be, how we should or shouldn't behave. Journaling cuts through the noise by putting whatever you're experiencing front and center. Journaling also helps you clarify and focus on your goals and develop a plan for achieving them. By regularly writing about and reflecting on your goals, you gain meaningful insight into your motivations, obstacles, weaknesses, and strengths. Journaling helps you track progress, celebrate milestones, deal with setbacks, and make adjustments as needed. Now, when it comes to getting started, there are many ways to journal and many different formats to choose from. But my recommendation is to start with the most basic setup and modify or add to the habit as you see fit. Just, do whatever works for you. First, decide where you will write. You can use a traditional paper format like a journal or an app like Day One on your phone. That's personally what I use. While there is some research to suggest that we process whatever we write by hand more easily, consistency is way more important. Therefore, choose whatever format works for you. Second, decide on when you will write. While journaling once a week is still better than not journaling at all, you stand to benefit most from making it a daily practice. You may prefer writing in the morning after waking up or in the evening before going to bed. Find a time that works for you and try to be as consistent as possible. And again, experiment. I started in the evening, then I moved it to the morning, and if one sentence is all you got, that's okay. Third, decide on what you will write. You can take a completely unstructured approach or use a template with custom writing prompts, such as the things you're grateful for, your intentions or the plan for the day, and things you learned recently. Again, you don't have to go for long entries. Writing one sentence every day is better than writing multiple paragraphs every month.